really aggressive, really high tempo. But I think a lot of people won't want to be playing it in situations where lane's going to be hard, because you don't want to have to fall back. You want to be able to rush your boots of travel and just keep running at the enemy.
Yeah, well, 100% we'll see it. And what was it? There was a few other heroes that really did take at least a little bit of a dent, because it didn't seem to be a massive patch change at all. It was just a few nerfs of heroes that might be a little bit crazy. I mean, Beastmaster, he lost a little bit of a base attack speed, and the ball kind of just slowed down, and that's it. That's meant to balance out Beastmaster, who was probably, one of the best offlaners still, and it seems like 10 less attack speed. He's still going to be one of the best the same. He just hits a little bit slower.
Yeah, the Beast nerf was definitely very minimal. I think, honestly, you can kind of ignore it. He's still strong. It'll annoy him a little bit, but it's not that bad. The other big ones, the Shaker one, and a lot of people had just started playing Shaker purely for the Aftershock, and it's still strong, but half duration is a lot weaker. Like, you don't have 6 seconds of secured control anymore. You have like 4, which is still really good, but it is, I mean, clearly a lot less. Your Morphling change makes Morphling kind of needs to build Ags now. I think one of the biggest strengths to Morphling is once you hit that level 20, once you have your Morph cooldown down to 40 seconds, and you have your talent giving you the 40-second duration, you have 100% uptime on Morph. But with the Morph cooldown nerf and the Scepter replacing that cooldown, it kind of means, like, at least from what I'm theory crafting, Morphling's only really strong if you have that Ags combo. Like, if you have that Sand King, if you have that Shaker, if you have someone that you naturally want to build that Ags for.
Fair enough. That's all cool. And I guess one of the other maybe minor major things is Nyx Assassin had a break inbuilt with Vendetta. Now he no longer has that break, which was added, I mean, pretty recently, but it's still Nyx Assassin. I mean, you're focusing on the carapace, you're focusing on the stun. You're not exactly picking Nyx Assassin for the break potential.
Yes and no. So actually, I would argue it the other way. One of the big reasons, if you think before this patch, Nyx was kind of dead. The only reason it got picked was like literally to counter Puck or OD. That was pretty much it. So start of this patch, Puck and OD become insane, like absolutely insane. So Nyx got way stronger. On top of that, Nyx got this break ability added to it, which means suddenly you've got a support that can deal with heroes like Tide, Bristleback, Spectre. I mean, Spectre's not as common, but you get the idea that the really tanky heroes, or the heroes that you need a break at some point for, Nyx, your support pick suddenly has that utility, which makes it really scary for the other team to pick those heroes. Like, you first pick a Nyx, and suddenly the other team, they just don't want to pick Tide. You don't have to ban it, you don't have to think about it. They can pick it, and it'll still be alright, but you get to that mid game, and the break is the reason that you have the ability to gank him. Like, without it, he just crack and chills off your stuns and ravages. So that actual change to Nyx, I think I would class as maybe the biggest of the patch, except the Morphling one. The Morphling one's pretty big. And then the one other notable one, other than Puck, the Puck one, like, he lost some damage. He's still really strong. The other notable one is actually the Furion.
Oh, the greater Treant base attack time. I mean, it's just literally one change to him, though.
It is just one change, but I don't know if you've been playing heaps of pubs versus it, but the Agshard Rush support Furion can delete towers, like, super, super easily. And that nerf actually just slows his split pushing down by a good chunk, which means you get that 2-3 extra minutes to deal with him. Like, you catch him a couple of times extra, you actually pressure the map, or their Pos 4 Furion that's just making trees and running away suddenly isn't as much of a threat to you.
Okay, we did actually get a little bit of news, folks. Unfortunately, it is some bad news for the Prime. Their power's not coming back on, unfortunately, so they have to forfeit our Game 1 series. So it is going to be 2-0 to Divine to kick off our game tonight, but we still do have a second game coming up tonight. So NGID versus Cambo Pride will still be happening, but it's happening at 8:30. So there'll be at least 2 hours in between until we get the game's going again. So I believe we're going straight to a break, if I'm not mistaken, and then we'll pick right back up when Cambo Pride versus NGID happens at 8:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, or 10:30 New Zealand Standard Time as well.
So yeah, I guess with that happening, that's really unfortunate actually. The Prime, they've been looking strong. This should have been, I think, a 2-0 for them, so bit unfortunate, but I mean, Divine will be very happy. They got on the leaderboard. They're pushing up there with a 2-0. I mean, it's always rough when you lose a game, especially to a power outage.
The power, yeah. I can't control that.
Got to be one of the most unfortunate ways to forfeit. But I guess we will be back at. I mean, stream should be back live 8ish. We will be back at 8:30 to cast over the next game. See you all later.
See you in a bit. Now the swing.
But the ulti's gonna pop.